Hey guys, Rich with Thrill the Treasure here. Sorry it's been so long since I posted. I think everyone was probably pretty busy over the holidays, and me included. And I wanted to get something out here. The kids are back in school, and I'm full force back into looking at everything. And that's not to say that I didn't look at things over the holiday. I think I was every 10 minutes I thought about things. So anyway, so I want to get something out there. I have a few things today I want to go over. First off, getting a lot of views on some of these videos, so I want to make sure I just kind of explain real quick what my channel and how what's based on, how it works, so people understand. You know, you got the poem to look at, and then obviously we got the thrill of the chase. That's Forrest's recommendation. Those two items are basically what we look at to try to solve this thing. The one thing that I do is I add in all the comments that he's made over the years, whether it be in interviews, emails, anything I can find, anywhere I can find something that he said. I look at that and I analyze that within the realm of the chase. There are poem purists, there's book purists, and some of those people get annoyed with what I do, and I apologize for that. So I want to let that kind of get this out there again. It's in my intro video or about me video for the channel, but most people don't listen to those, which I understand why. So I just feel like he's human, and at times he's might have made comments that, if looked at rationally and thought about, might help us just a little bit. Anything that could take search area out or lead us in a direction, or most importantly, have in the back of our mind, I think while we're working on our search, I think is really helpful and can help quite a bit. So without further ado, the first thing I really like that I found is it's on chasingfinntreasures.com. This is Cynthia Meacham's blog. For you, and I'm going to put this below for you guys, the link. It's an awesome blog. She is one of the very first searchers, guys, and probably one of the most educated about the whole situation. There's a lot out there. Are a few out there like her. Illinois Ghost is one of them. He's been on, I think, over 100 searches on the ground, boots on the ground. Cynthia is in that category, along with Dale Neitzel. He's in that category. So Cynthia's blog is really nice. I would check it out. I'll have the link for it. She usually writes every couple of days on there, and also she has links to all the videos and comments. There's a comment on her blog that he made, and I cannot find it anywhere else, but I believe that it's his, or she would not have it on here. It says, it has to do with the treasure location. It says, people will be surprised when they find out where it is. And when I first read that a few days ago, you know, I was like, yeah, no doubt they're going to be surprised. But then I really started thinking about it rationally, kind of like I do with all this stuff. And to me, it's something that I want to have in the back of my mind when I'm working out my solve. Okay, and here's why. Ask yourself this question: what location would surprise you? Let's say tomorrow the chest is found with all the gold and everything, all the treasure in it. It's exactly as it said. What would surprise you? Okay, for example, would it surprise you if it was found in New Mexico, in a place where you could see mountains, trees, animals, water? No, it wouldn't surprise you, because that's what we're expecting. Or let's ask another question. Would it surprise you if it was in Yellowstone? Right? Probably not. Again, if it's in Yellowstone and it's in the environment that we think it's in. So this comment actually gives us more than what you think it does if you're really thinking about it. Okay, because I really thought long and hard about this. And this is me personally. I would be surprised in one of two ways. The first way is if it was found in Montana, way up in Montana, or in Colorado, right? Or maybe outside of Yellowstone and Wyoming, because that's kind of a location surprise we're not really, none of us are really leaning towards. I mean, some of us are. Don't kill me for saying that. I know a lot of you guys have solves everywhere, but just look at the chase as a whole and kind of what you would assume, where you would assume he would hide it, either close to his house in New Mexico or close to his childhood memories in Yellowstone. Okay, so if it was outside of those realms, that would definitely be a surprise. Okay, now the second way, so you're talking another like Montana, Colorado, outside of Yellowstone and Wyoming, those places, big picture wise, would surprise me. Now, the other alternative that you want to keep in mind is what would surprise you is if it was in those locations close to his house or in Yellowstone or whatnot, but in a really, really different location than what we're expecting. Those two things would surprise us. So, for example, it is found in Yellowstone, and you can see everything that he said that you can see. And it does fit all the poems clues, but it's in the front yard of a ranger station under a rock, right? That would be a huge surprise. Or it's in New Mexico, same situation, where it fits all the clues, but instead of being out, it's somewhere in someone's backyard. Or you know what I'm trying to say? It's in the location that we expect it to be in as a whole, as a group, where we're leaning towards, because he lives there, because of his childhood memories, but it's in a really weird place, even though all the clues mix and match. Okay, so those are the two surprises you guys need to think about. At least my opinion is you need to think about when you're working out your solve, because it kind of gives us an idea of like which surprise to kind of lean towards. So then I'll take it one step further, and I think about everything else that he said. And when he says things like a human trail is not close proximity, I think it really makes the latter surprise unlikely, meaning in a place in those search areas that everyone thinks they're probably in, but in a weird way, because it can't meet all the criteria of seeing trees, seeing mountains, you know what I'm saying, being by animals, being by water, and being far away from a human trail, quote unquote, and be in a spot we wouldn't expect it that would surprise us. Does that make sense? So to me, this comment really, 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 if you want to break it down completely from A to Z, points to a location, state location of the treasure that would be a surprise. So again, what would surprise you if you woke up tomorrow morning and you heard that treasure was found? What location would surprise you? So that's really, keep that in mind, because he said it, we didn't say it. I think it's a huge comment. Okay, so that's the first one. I really like that one. I've actually been kind of every solve that I have, I put up against it, and it's really helped. Okay, the second one I have, and it's the one that the video actually is titled about, is which of the clues is man-made. And I think this is also really important, and it could help out. If you go to this one's on Terry Scant. This one's actually documented better. And then someone added, did the same 9 clues exist when you were a kid? And then to your estimate, will they still exist in 100 years or 1,000 years? Forrest answers, the clues did not exist when I was a kid, but most of the places the clues refer to did. I think they might exist in 100 years, but the geography probably will change before we reach the new millennia. Okay, so the key word here to focus on is most of the places the clues refer to did. He doesn't say all of the places the clues referred to did. So that tells me that he was born in 1930. Okay, so he was a kid through the 1930s. Something about these 9 clues came about after he was a kid. I don't know what it is. I don't know if maybe it's the home of Brown. Maybe I don't know for sure. I'm still thinking about this quite a bit. And actually, I was going to do a part where you go through the poem clue by clue. And if you do that, I recommend you do that, because it kind of isolates what parts it could be. It really does. Because if you think about, again, where he said it's at, kind of how he's described it, if there's a man-made component that wasn't there when he was a kid, what would it be? Now, the question is, does it have to be man-made? Well, then we got kind of a deep thought here. Okay, if it's not man-made, how is it not there when he was a child? You see what I'm saying? Now, it's possible it could be there. It could have been there before he was a child. And I wouldn't put that past Forrest. So we're talking man-made, but already gone before he is a child and long gone. So it's more of a historical area. So a good example for that would be like a railroad. Okay, because I think if you guys watch my other videos, one of my theories is heavy loads is a railroad track or a railroad. Just a theory. Well, if you look in the search areas, there's aren't many, it's 2018. Most of the railroads are gone. But Northern Pacific, you can find it around Yellowstone historically. You can find it up in Montana historically. So, but it's gone now. So that could fit that clue that it's man-made, but it predates him. Now the alternative is it's man-made and it's after his birth. So what could that be? And again, I think it's a really big deal. I hope you guys and think about it and enjoy the information, because really what he's saying is he wouldn't say most. He would say all the clues refer to all the clues that are in the poem existed when he was a child. He says most existed. So that is, again, kind of how I work. The surprise comments is laying that back there in the back of my mind. This comment's back there laying in the back of my mind, which it kind of makes sense a lot, because if you think about how many people have been close to it, 500, 200 feet, a lot of people, all that stuff. I think if we find out a man-made component to it, it's not going to be surprising, right? And it could be as simple as take it. It is a trail. So maybe the it is a trail, and it wasn't in existence in the 1930s or 40s, but you know what I'm saying, it was developed later on and in the decades after, and he's referring to that. So you guys are all very smart. You understand what I'm saying. Just keep it in mind. There's something about the clues, the 9 exact. There's one clue that's referring to a man-made situation, in my opinion. If you guys think of a way that it could exist, didn't exist when he was a kid, that exists now that's not man-made, let's talk about it in the comments, because I would really like to know. Now let's see what's next. I got questions for you guys. I want us to analyze a couple of these comments that I can't get a rational idea on. Okay, this one is the big one. The little girl from India, right? Someone asked him, and you can read it over here. Can a little girl in India who speaks good English but only has your poem and a map of the U.S. Rocky Mountains work out where the treasure is? And will she be confident as she solves each clue, or only confident when she solves them all? He says, I wish I had another treasure to hide in Appalachians. The little girl in India cannot get closer than the first 2 clues. There are many disabled people who are deeply into maps and geography, and they're having a lot of fun. Man, we could literally speak forever about this comment, in my opinion. First off, I have no idea. Well, I do have my opinions, but I want to get your guys' opinions. Why he starts it with, I wish I had another treasure to hide in the Appalachians. So something about this comment made him wish he had another treasure to hide in the Appalachians. And if you use your rationale, it's if she can't get closer than the first 2, then what he's saying is that she could get closer if it was in the Appalachians. Does that make sense? It does to me. But again, I'm looking for answers on this one more than me giving an opinion. Okay, but I'm just going to give you what opinions I do have. And then he says the little girl in India cannot get closer than the first 2 clues. He doesn't say little girl in India can't figure out more than the first two clues. He says she can't get closer. So I find that very interesting, because that's a much different, in my opinion, it's a much different statement than saying she can't figure out more than the first 2 clues. He's physically talking about, in my opinion, that she can't get closer than the first 2 clues. Why in the world would that be the case? And then this is another comment that the way he ends it is interesting. It's almost like he's thinking about all the people that are going to be disappointed. And he just says this, there are many disabled people who are deeply into the maps and geography, and they are having a lot of fun. It's kind of out of place context-wise. So his mind was definitely working overtime right here, in my opinion. All right, because he's wishing he had another place to hide it. Why? He says she can't get closer, and then he makes this comment about the disabled people. Saying Forrest gets scrambled is an overstatement. That guy is as cool as a cucumber. He never gets flustered. I'm not saying that, but I really like this comment. And if you guys can tell me how and why. Okay. Oh, and one more thing. Let's go back to someone kind of ask this brought up a lot of discussion in the community, needless to say. And then if you go down, someone had a follow-up with it. Let's see, where would it be? Sorry, guys, I'll find it here in 1 second. I don't think I have it. Is it with the clues? Yes, it is. Okay, it's down here. Okay. Well, I thought I had it, guys. I'm sorry. All right, I'll let you guys find it. Basically, someone kind of asks a question in regards to that answer that he gave, and they're like, why could the little girl in India not be able to get past the first two clues? My take, and the guy answers the question within the question for Forrest. He says, kind of like, my take is because she has to be present to find clues 2 through 7. That basically is what the question. The guy answers his own question before Forrest gets a chance to answer, and then Forrest basically says, "There you go, you got it." And gosh, I wish you could find it. I don't want to keep searching while we're on here, but you guys find that, and you'll see what I'm saying. That the answer doesn't make any sense, because if she can't do the first, why can't she do the first clue and not the other 7 in that context? It makes no sense to me. It's either that she can do them all or she can't in the way that it's all worded. And I wish I could find that so much. Let's see one more time. Fresh eyes, begging for clues. There's the when we are on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, just want to check one more time. So, guys, take a look at that. The little girl from India comment, why can't she get closer than the first 2 clues? I know it's been looked at quite a bit, but let's look at it kind of the way we look at it. I'd love to get your input on that. And then the final one is this one. Forrest, you said you made 2 trips from your car to hide the treasure. Besides walking, did you use any other method of transportation to get back and forth between your car and the hide? Thanks, Edgar. And Forrest says, Edgar, your wording of the question prompts me to pause. I wonder if I can answer it candidly, yet correctly. Were all evidence truly known? And I answered in the positive. You might say I'm prevaricating by some definition of the word. And if I answered in the negative, you might claim that I am quibbling. So I'll stay quiet on the subject. Thanks for the question anyway. I don't think this quote gets enough attention, or this statement gets enough attention. Guys, this is the meat of what we're trying to figure out. Okay? And if Forrest was asked directly, this is a direct question. Did you use anything else other than walking when you got out of that car to get to that place where you hid the treasure and back? Why in the world can't he say no or yes? All right? And the answer is, in my opinion, if he could say no, he would. Right? But he can't. But if he says yes, then that changes everything. Okay, and it helps. That's a big clue if he says yes. So what he does is he finds a way to answer the question without saying yes or no, even though it's a direct question. So it's something about the wording of this question, okay, that allows him to dodge it. And I haven't figured it out yet. I thought maybe it's the word transportation, because maybe the guy should have said, did you use any other method of travel to get back and forth? But again, transportation, now I looked at it further, that really encapsulate everything that I could think of that he could use to move from one place to another. Now, again, this is really, I really want your guys' input on this one, because this is something that I've thought about a lot, a whole lot. I think this is could be a big hint for us to figure out where this thing is at. All right? Because, for example, let's just give some examples. Let's say he used like a lift, like a ski lift, for lack of a better thing to think about. It would be, in my opinion, it'd be pretty easy for him to say, yes, I did. Right? I did. I used something else other than walk. But he doesn't say that, you know what I'm saying? So I really want to get your guys' input on this one. I know you guys come here for a lot for my opinions, but these two, as far as the little girl from India, which I gave you a lot more opinion on that one. I think I've had my mind made up of what that means. But I want to hear what you guys say. On this one, guys, I have no clue at all about what it means. Okay, so again, just to recap, Cynthia Meacham's blog post, people will be surprised. I think that's an awesome comment, because we can only be surprised a couple different ways. He He knows what people think. He knows what people are basically expecting. So he's saying people will be what they're expecting won't happen. It'll be the unexpected, and the unexpected can only, in my opinion, be in a couple places. We have the clues comment of the man-made, which I like a lot. I think one of the clues are man-made. Then we have the little girl from India, which I gave some thoughts on, and then we also have the how in the world did he say this? Why didn't he answer this question? So, guys, I have a lot more over the break. I came up with so much. The exciting thing is I have, in my opinion, my best solve since I started this. Everything that I put up against it, everything, every quote, every poem part is working out wonderful. It's the first time I've had one where I want to get in the car and get on a plane the next day. And this was a few days ago that I had this epiphany. So needless to say, I'm not going to say it right now, but I will tell you this much. The things that I'm telling you in these comments, these are all things that that helped me come to some of these conclusions. So I'm not going to hold back comments in my analysis of them based on trying to mislead or whatever. Because God knows, for one thing, I'm not right, right? Because all the longtime searchers have been doing it 4 or 5 years. They say they've had 4 or 5 times where they thought that it was 100% there. I wish I could show you the text that I sent my wife the first 10 minutes after I figured it out. It's ridiculous, way overconfident, and kind of silly now. I've kind of been a little bit less confident as I've stepped back because there's 1 or 2 things that I have to figure out, but other than that, it's exciting. So I am going to, once I make my final decision, I'm going to book about 2 or 3 weeks into that location, maybe a month. And I'm staying there until it's every inch of search this summer. I guarantee you that, and you better believe I'm going to have a camera with me, and I'm going to document all of it, you guys. One final thing. I'm doing an interview series for the winter break. Dale Neitzel was wonderful and nice enough to give me about 45 minutes of his time right before Thanksgiving. I'm editing that interview, and there's a couple really cool things that he says. I'm trying to interview people that are longtime searchers that have a lot of boots on the ground, that have more than just opinion like I have. So Dale's first. I'll have that out in the next 3 or 4 days for you guys. Secondly, because of the interest in the channel and how I'm having so much fun, I am going to put together a quote-unquote giveaway for new subscribers in the spring for an all-expense-paid trip to their search area. So I'm talking 3 or 4 days. I'm talking airfare. I'm talking camping or hotel, whatever you need. We're going to get it covered. And I'm going to do it in a way where you don't have to give up necessarily your exact location and all your information. I just need to know that you need it, that you really need it, that you don't have the means to go anytime that you want to, and that you have a really solid solve. So guys, look forward to that. And then lastly, I'm going to be posting a couple videos on arrowhead hunting. Also, I'm going to be posting some videos on mountain climbing. I'm going to pick a couple of mountains to climb this spring and summer. I'm going to start training for that. I'm going to document some of that. So I want you guys to, it's not going to be all the time. It's going to be mostly Fenn treasure related stuff for now until it's found. But I am going to make sure the channel is a little bit broad and kind of adventurous and shows kind of a little bit more of my life. And it won't be real boring. It should be entertaining, especially the mountain climbing part because I'm really out of shape. I'm going to try to pick mountains in the Rockies to start. So I'm in around solves. Okay, so I'm also buying a ton of arrowheads online on eBay. And I'm thinking about giving a weekly giveaway for really good points arrowheads. So if you guys are interested in arrowheads, leave a comment. Let me know if that'd be a cool thing to add to the channel, or if I should start another channel for some of this stuff. Okay, guys. So I don't want to go too long. Give me your feedback. I'm looking forward to a couple more videos. I got a list 5 or 6 deep videos I'm going to do over the next 3 weeks, and they're all really good. So look forward to telling you guys what's up and going from there. All right. Talk soon. Thanks.